Perfect. We see a couple more scooting in. Yay. Hi, Victoria Kent. Happy 40th anniversary. We're glad you're here. Hi, Claire. Yay. So fun.
Perfect. Okay. Your salt and your vinegar ready?
Yep. Ready. We're so ready, girl. We are ready to do it with you. Okay, everyone. So I'm about to mute all, but as we were just sharing with Dan, there are no rules here. This is virtual boozy brunch. No pants are required. Potty mouths are welcome. You know, do your thing. This is all about having a nice moment on a Sunday and, you know, not drinking alone, maybe drinking together with a couple of friends, old and new. So this is episode 40, and we decided that we're chillin' today. It's all about the chillin'. And we also want to share that it's been a really fun journey with all of you. My name is Belinda Chang, and we're very lucky to have been covered in all of these publications, which maybe brought you to us that fateful, what was it? Oh yeah, it was a Sunday, March 22nd. I think there are a couple of faces here who have been with us maybe most of the weeks. Mark Chi, you and I for 40 episodes. Thank you for being along for this journey, and many members of the team and many members of the extended family. We've done so much good. We've supported over 120 small businesses. We've had over 2 million people watch along with us and hopefully get a little spark of brightness. This is a slide from the very first episode on March 22nd when, I don't know, I thought we were doing pretty good for a bunch of people that were doing Zoom for the very first time. So, you know, so many nice notes and so many notices and so many friends that have come as friends of friends. Thank you to all of you. Alessa, I saw you just logged in. Thank you so much for your amazing note and the holiday gift. It's been so fun to have you as a part of this family and the Wednesday family and all the other stuff that we've been doing. So, you know, thank you to everyone for being here. This crazy thing that we started in March has now turned into this thing. So if you go to belindachang.com because you want to hang with us on other days and do some decadent, luxurious things where we send you big boxes of fun stuff, you know, go for it. Come visit us there. But outside of that, we're here to just have a really wonderful moment together today, as we always do. So there's a lot of fun stuff that's about to happen. The fun thing that's going to happen right now is I'm going to introduce my amazing, gorgeous, talented, and my favorite co-host ever, Claire Paparazzo. What's the plan for today?
Belinda, thank you so much. I am so excited to turn 40 again. Yay! Happy 40th. Let's rehash where we were last week. I recall Samantha, Chef Samantha from the Finger Lakes. She just launched her brand new website. She's feeding people. She's keeping us healthy and inspired. And then Ruth Ann Ganon, fabulous. She brought such a great energy to the show. If you ever want to get your tarot cards read, I definitely recommend Ruth Ann. These are some beautiful ladies that we can support during this time. You know, we have some.
I'll also mention you can still use the code. She's basically doing the sessions half price for friends of Virtual Boozy Brunch. I signed up for 2 of them, and I know Evie bought some for friends. So definitely check that out.
Fantastic. It's called Boozy Friend is the code. We are so excited to get comfy, to get cheesy, to laugh. I'm so excited today. We're going to make cheese for the first time in my life. I've never made cheese. You too, Belinda?
Yeah, first time for non-vegan. I tried the thing where you do the cashew stuff and it never was really very delicious and made a lot of mess. So I'm excited to do real deal cheese. The ricotta.
Ricotta. Look, there's a reason that there's real stuff in it. It tastes delicious. So we're going to laugh along with Dana Dude. He is not only one dapper dude, Dan, he's hysterical, and he has an amazing podcast, Green Eggs and Dan. I don't know, it made my subway travel for an entire year possible. I was the weirdo on the train laughing out loud. Thank you, Dan. They couldn't come fast enough for me to get through them. And we're gonna chill. We're gonna have some laughs and celebrate the 40th episode. How exciting. So and thank you, Belinda, for including me. You see all my old headshots here, which is kind of hysterical, but I appreciate you all.
We're using all your headshots because you and I, babe, we're together now. So I was just going to suggest to everyone, if you're joining us for the first time and you haven't done a lot of Zoom, I mean, my team, Mark and Christina and Sari and you, and we're deep in the Zooms, right? So you can watch this either in gallery view where you can see all the faces. You can also watch it in speaker view. So those are toggles up in the top right. I love to watch it in gallery because I like to see everybody's shiny, happy faces. And I always use the little slider. So I make that little slide our advertisement for Wine Access, very small because I want to see everybody really big. So there are a lot of ways to sort of experience this. And then Claire, we also suggest that everybody open that chat box too, because we have Evie chatting it up with everyone and you can share your thoughts and feelings if you don't want to share them in person. Though we'd love for you to just, unmute yourself by pressing that space bar and yelling out whatever you want. You can also put it down in the chats wherever you like and whatever makes this kind of a fun experience for you. So we have 2 wines because my mom said, wow, so we paid for you to go to school and then you didn't really use anything that they taught you. And then you said you were a wine person, but how come you don't talk about wine on the show? So we decided to be appropriate for, Claire and I to do what we did before in real life and talk to people about wine a little bit. So we have 2 wines from a Wine Access boutique that's called My Brunch Boutique. The first one today I'm going to chat about. So this is the Somm and Crocker Gruner Veltliner. So if you got it from Wine Access or you found it in your wine shop, please feel free to, pour some in your glass. But, you don't have to pour it into the glass. Feel free to chug from the bottle. Straws are appropriate, however you love to enjoy the wine. I just wanted to share this one because I think it's really fun and has some great people as we're all trying to buy with intention. And I love it when I know the people behind a wine or a restaurant or a cheese. And this is 2 pretty fantastic people who, Claire, I'm sure you've spent a good bit of time too. Aldo Somm is sort of the legendary Meilleur Sommelier du Monde at Le Bernardin. So he's been a partner with Chef Eric Ripert in New York for a very long time. He is Austrian. And the second personality, the Crocker in the Somm and Crocker, is Gerhard Crocker, who his father was really well known for sweet wines in Austria in a region called the Neusiedlersee, and land of cheesy sausages, if you want to put cheese into the equation there, that you drink when you're, drink the Gruner Veltliner, eat the cheesy sausages, the Kaiser Krenner when you're, out about in the streets on a stick. So Gruner Veltliner, for a long time, was kind of what I call the wine of the Trixies. Here in Chicago, if anyone spent any time here, there's a region called Lincoln Park, which I don't know what the New York equivalent would be, maybe like West Village-y a little, but West Village cooler. So Lincoln Park is where you have these girls, they're in their 20s. And when I worked there at Charlie Trotter, Sari was there too with me. They all drove like Jettas, and they all shopped at the same clothes store. They all had the same shoes and the same Prada backpack. So for me, this was kind of a little bit of a tricksy wine because they all learned one wine to order to sound kind of slightly cool. And that was Gruner Veltliner. They learned how to say it. And then this was the wine that they drank because it was like, it was cooler maybe than Chardonnay, one level, like 1 degree cooler. But this is Gruner Veltliner. That's the name of the grape at its sort of epitome from Austria, where it's the most heavily planted grape of them all, even though maybe not as well known or as venerated as Riesling. And I was saying earlier, it's kind of like a coiffer. It's just easy. It has a lovely texture. It's great with salads. I know Ed loves to cook so much and is always DMing me on Insta, which I love, Ed. Keep them coming. I'm making this. What should I drink? I think Gruner Veltliner is a great one to stock up in your home because it's a dry white. It's got really nice texture and it handles vegetables nicely. So if you haven't had Gruner before, sort of the classic descriptors on the nose and also on the palate are white pepper and French lentils. So that sounds a little weird, but it kind of speaks to how this style of white wine and what this grape variety does. It's great with salads and it's great with vegetables, and you might be doing some, beanie stews over this time. So Gruner Veltliner. I'm going to interrupt for just a second. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, for Gruner Veltliner, Yeah, I mean, if you do like anything with lentils, like those lentil stews, I mean, I have a beautiful little slice of Benton's ham right now. I just want to take off the slices of Benton's ham and cook like big pots of beans, white beans and things like that, and greens. And this is a great wine for that. Traditionally and typically, white wines can be a real challenge with vegetables, right? Because green aromas and flavors can be considered a problem in
But
wine.
excuse me, Belinda, Gruner Veltliner really goes with asparagus.
Sure does. It's one of the very, thank you, June. One of the very few wines that's fantastic with green stuff. So this is a little bit of a Terminator wine. You can get it in there with all the good stuff that you're trying to fill your body with during January, if you're trying to do that. I mean, me, not so much. I'm going to eat what I always eat. But if you're trying to eat better, this Gruner might be a fun choice. Okay, so that's the white. Claire.
I love it, Belinda. I will say, for Psalms of you and I alike, Gruner Veltliner's our get out of jail free card, because when people have the most insane kind of combinations in front of them, you just say, let me pour something for you. And Gruner is always in my back pocket. Another fun wine is a Right Bank Bordeaux it's the second wine of La Tour Figeac, L'Esquisse de La Tour Figeac. So we are in Saint-Emilion. There's a beautiful castle here, L'Esquisse de La Tour Figeac. It translates to the sketch of the vineyard, or the castle, if you will. And one of my favorite things working in French restaurants, when people come in and they're like, I want to try a Bordeaux, but I want something big. I want something full bodied, but I hate Merlot. I want something big. And whatever. And so I'm just like, I'm listening to what they're describing. You want fruit, you want dark fruit, you want a beautiful mouthfeel. And I'm not telling them that the wine that I just recommended, which was most likely a Saint-Emilion, has a large percentage of Merlot in it. And I think
Claire, it was that sideways thing, right?
exactly. That's what I was just going to say. I think, and I felt so bad because I think it was Sideways, and everyone saw that movie and they were just like, I don't want to be the idiot that drinks Merlot. Like, I don't want to drink Merlot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but what you're describing to me is Merlot. Drink it. You'll like it. So this blend has 65% Merlot, the rest Cabernet Franc. We have some sandy soils here, some ancient sandy soils, some clay. And what is so nice about this wine, it's the second wine, right? So it's, I would say, young vines, if you will, 25 years old, not our 40-year-old, which would definitely be old vines. So a young vine cuvee. And what you have here is, depending on the vintage, 15 was ripe, right? So what they're doing is a large percentage of new French oak for about a year. And it will change based on the vintage. So maybe scale back a little for 15 because it was so ripe. But what I love about this winery, in 2000, they did a 100% Merlot. I would love to taste it. I haven't. Have you, Belinda?
I haven't tasted it, but maybe we need to plan a little trip. I got a place for us to stay. We're going to do a little Bordeaux situation. I mean, we've been promising everyone who's been coming to Virtual Boozy Brunch since episode 1 that, like, when we get to the other side of this, we're just going to, we're going to charter a plane and we're going to go pick everyone up. We're going to go visit all the guests that we've had. Right, Annika? We've been talking to, like, our friend in Belize and our people who have joined us from France and from Italy. We have, like, an epic trip planned. So we're going to add that as a stop, Claire, on the itinerary.
Add me to your list. I'm there. I finally have figured out the right boots to bring on a wine trip. Took me a couple of years. I'm leaving the leather boots home, and something similar to a wellies, something like that is what I bring now. I've had the mistake of showing up and having the winemaker's wife lend me her boots and things like that. Anyway, how hysterical. But I really do personally love a Right Bank Bordeaux. And you have some great neighbors. Chateau Cheval Blanc is right there. You're right on the Pomerol border. And this is so exciting because these are wines that, yes, very close proximity to where we are, but the price point is completely different. Like the second wine of Chateau Cheval Blanc, which I love as well, is, I would say, 3-4 times the price of this Esquisse.
I feel like it's probably like 500 US on release. And this you can get for under 50 on release, right?
Exactly. And, I have some exciting insight into this wine, which we'll get into in a little bit. But my good friend, Dana Dute, who's joining us, is going to share with us the hangover from this wine because he had it last night. So I don't know what that is. I use my Corvin so I can kind of sip on it and taste it through the week and see how it's showing itself. And I will just talk about the character that I got before Dan will tell us later about what he got. But I get like a beautiful cocoa. I get a beautiful mouthfeel, licorice, almost like a little, I want to say like tobacco note, some dark fruit. But it is just, it's silky. And I think it's because in this case, you think of oak, the new oak, think of it as a salt, right? Think of it as a seasoning. You're just enhancing what is coming from the earth. And it is so delicious. What a treat to have both of these wines. I'm such a fan, Belinda.
But Claire, what we never talk about is what the hangover impressions are. So Dan, maybe you're our new roving correspondent. We're just going to send you wines and you can tell us about next day.
Yes, I'd like to apologize. I broke the rules and I had the wine last night. And also, I'd like to recommend to all of you right now, drink it straight out of the bottle because to really get a lot of the terroir, like you feel like you're really like you're one with the terroir when you drink it out of the bottle. They don't tell you this. Claire told me before you all came on. This is what sommeliers always say, but then when in front of you guys, they won't say it. They're like, "Oh, you need the right, the right width in your glass." No, out of the bottle is the way to go. I did have this last night, although Claire, to be honest,
tell me,
I had about half a bottle of it, and then my brother came over, and I was like, "We can't finish this because I need it for tomorrow." And so then we opened the bottle of La Pierre Morgon.
Okay. Nice. Wow.
So yeah, we had a lot of wine last night. I will tell you,
French wine.
This wine is so delightful, and I have, first of all, hot tip to people who don't know about wine. I don't know that much about wine, but so I make little fun things to remember. So right bank and left bank Bordeaux. The way you remember that the left bank Bordeaux are Cabernet, have Cabernet, is because if you think of the left coast of America is where Napa is, and that's mostly Cabernet.
Oh,
so left,
smart.
That's my little fun way of remembering.
Good.
Smart, Dan.
Thank you, Claire. You dated me. Also, I think that the interesting thing about these French Bordeaux, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they all have this. I've been getting a lot of wine. During quarantine, I want to mask my alcoholism in a wine, like becoming an oinophile. So I've been drinking a lot of wines. I've been experimenting a lot. And there's something about French Bordeaux. They have this flavor. It's this aftertaste that's almost like it's the difference between aged beef and like fresh beef.
Yeah,
they all have this
that's really great.
Aged thing going on, even if it's the same exact blend of something that's New World. Man, what is that? Why is it that they all have that je ne sais quoi going on?
I'm a graduate of the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy, so I'm the promise of Illinois for science. So I'm gonna, use my taxpayer dollars. So if anybody paid taxes in Illinois, thank you. And I'm gonna say, Dan, that it's the unfurling of esters.
Oh wow, you're so Asian, Belinda. First of all, and your mom is so proud, even though she paid all that money for that school that you didn't use.
Right? It's all I got. That's all I got.
It's all for this moment. No, but can you explain that? What does that mean?
So basically what gives aroma to wine, which impacts a lot of what we taste, is a compound called an ester. It's a very complex molecule. And over time, esters unfurl and recombine and combine and recombine. So over time, I think that probably you and I need to hang out over like a really good dry aged steak maybe and some great Bordeaux when this is all over. Like I ordered a 50-day dry aged prime rib for my family this year and then ate the whole thing myself because I had a COVID scare. So, there's still some in the fridge, you'll see. But, so the dry aged steak, right? Don't they start to smell like cheese in the best way. And I think the older wines, when they get a bit of bottle age and have more time for all of this crazy chemistry to happen in bottle, that's where we get, because we love to talk about the sommelier, right? Shows up at the table and you're like, why should I buy the $500 bottle? And we're like, because like the young one, it's so primary. I want like secondary and tertiary flavor and tertiary aromas. So those are kind of the combinations and recombinations and uncombinations of all of these molecules making cool shit happen, right? Literally.
For time and time. So basically, because of the history of the place you're at, right? It's been there since 1800s. So if you think of all of the yeast and everything that's naturally occurring in the vineyard and on the grapes and in the winery, it does kind of end up in your glass. And there is a sense of, it reminds me of like an older, more refined version of like a young California wine, right?
It's so fun. But you guys, we are going to continue this conversation, but there are some people who have their dairy ready to go to make ricotta. So let's table that for a second because I want to keep talking about it. And thank you for the musical interlude, Christina. I know that Chef Shauna is in Sonoma right now and her husband, Ben. Thank you. We're gonna get some ricotta going as we continue to enjoy both of our wines. And then we'll get back to this. So Shauna, thank you so much for being here with us today. I've got all of my dairy at a good, it's 200 degrees on the dot. And I've never made cheese before, but I want to make this fresh ricotta with you. And I also want to learn about your business. And Ben, for those who don't know, is a part of that Hansel winery family. Ben and I have had some great old bottles of California Pinot Noir and also Chardonnay together. You guys are so cute. We need to unmute one of your two cameras. So I'm going to ask to unmute both, but just unmute one of them. And then let's get this fresh ricotta thing going. We've got a little bit of feedback on one of them. So one of them is volume all the way down.
He's doing it right now.
Okay, perf, good. Listen, Shauna, I'm always super impressed when people go for it with the two camera paradigm, but it's a little tricky. There we go.
Can I quickly give a shout out to Sky Gugino?
Yes, please.
I want to give a shout out to my boyfriend who all he wants to do is watch the game, but he's like, no, I'm going to be a good boyfriend. I'm going to do this virtual boozy brunch that you like to do because that's your love language, and I'm going to speak your love language.
Those are my people, Dan. Those are my people. They have the wine too.
Hey, Sky, what's going on?
There you go,
I'm so happy you're here. 2 weeks in a row. We love you guys. All right, Shauna, let's do this thing. Tell us everything we need to know. My dairy is at 200 degrees. I'm ready to rumble, girl.
Let's roll this cheese wheel, right?
Yes.
So you got your cheese at 200 degrees, everyone, right? When it hits 200 degrees, we're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of salt. And go ahead and add it in. I'm gonna do it too.
And that should be, what kind of salt is the right salt for this, Shauna? Like coarse salt, regular salt?
Oh, good question, but kosher salt is best, but any salt is great.
Got it.
So I'm gonna add mine in.
So that's,
give it a stir.
I'm guessing.
Boop, boop. Who else is with us? It's you and I only? Anybody else?
No, we got people cooking. We'll highlight them.
I'm stirring. I feel like I'm a witch with my cauldron. I'm stirring as I'm watching you. Trust me.
Oh, I also need your 2 cups of vinegar. So you can only use white vinegar. It can't be any other vinegar.
That sounds kind of racist, but fine.
Oh, nicely said. Okay, you're right. I will rename it distilled vinegar.
Distilled vinegar. Thanks, Shauna.
And I pour it in.
Shauna, what if we're not
it one
200
whisk.
yet? Can we add this stuff yet?
If you're not at 200, Shauna, they should not start adding things, right? You got to get to 200 degrees first.
200
Okay,
degrees,
because all I
and
knew
then you add.
about before was the 180.
We were holding a 180 because we want to make sure everybody's up to date. But now
But
at 200 degrees,
My,
you add in 2 cups of vinegar.
2 cups of vinegar, June, when you get to 200.
As June is hammered and she forgot to raise the heat on, so she's getting it.
White vinegar, we're calling it distilled vinegar. Okay, got it.
Not white vinegar, distilled vinegar.
Distilled vinegar. It's all about the words. The words matter.
Okay, so by the way, so you add in your 2 cups of distilled vinegar,
Done.
your salt, and let it rest for 10 minutes.
And
Now
now,
I have this old-fashioned thing called a timer.
wait, but
And
don't.
no one has them anymore because we all use our iPhones.
Right.
So 10
I love
minutes.
a timer.
And then Shauna, is my heat off? So I got it to 200. I added everything with you. Do I turn the heat off? I'm turning the heat off. Okay.
Yes, turn your heat off.
Got it.
And then Belinda and Shauna, I believe Karen has a question.
Belinda, what's your question?
Come on, give it to me.
Just verifying the salt. So it says 2 teaspoons on the recipe, but you said 1 tablespoon?
2 teaspoons, sorry, my apologies. 2 teaspoons.
Okay, got it.
Thank you for keeping track on me.
Also, Shauna, I didn't follow directions already. Surprise to everyone here who's been joining us. So there's a little bit of stuff on the bottom of the pan. Should I try to?
That's okay. So don't scrape it. I know you want to scrape it like scrambled eggs.
I just
Leave
did.
it and use a spatula. Do not scrape it off. That's okay.
Okay, I'm not scraping. No scraping.
Just stir, right, Ben?
Sure, and you want to, once you put your lid on, you
Yeah.
want to leave the lid on. The last thing you want to do is remove the lid. When I teach classes, I keep my hands like this on the lid because I'm tempted to do it, and the guests or students are always like, "Can I peek? Can I peek? Can I peek?" And the answer is no.
No.
No peeking. And it's okay that you have little scrapes on the bottom. Just
Okay.
don't scrape them off. It's
So
okay.
I have everything in there, and now I'm putting the cover on.
Okay.
Leave it for 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm getting my cover. I mean,
Let's see. Come on, I want to see pictures.
here's my cover. I'm taking out my little thermometer. I'm taking out my wood spoon that I may or may not have scraped with, and the cover's going on. There we go.
All right, cover's
you-
You're
on.
set. You're going to make cheese.
Do you guys mind if I share my alternative recipe for ricotta right now? Is that okay?
Please share it. Please share it, Dan.
Okay, you're gonna want to open up an app called Instacart. Okay, you type in ricotta cheese, and then half an hour later, it arrives at your door.
Well,
That's so not fun. You got to make your own.
no, Dan, with Instacart, do you sometimes just get really, like, I've ordered peas and gotten mint. I mean, I've ordered ricotta and gotten, who knows what. So it's like, I mean, it'll be a fun adventure if you do
Yeah,
it.
the substitutions are always very interesting. It's like, I wanted apples, and now I have okra pickles. How did this happen?
Hey, Dan, do you want to see our refrigerator?
Yes.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So Ben's going to take his phone and we're going to go see our refrigerator because we're closed on Sundays. But it's kind of fun because we sell out of everything. So it's like the halfway filled container. So let's go see, Ben.
I love it. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got here.
But also, Shauna, for those who are keeping up on the recipe, we're covered now. We're covered.
Covered and leaving it right there,
Cover it
yes.
for 10 minutes.
We're doing nothing. If the
Now,
heat,
do we want no heat under it or just?
No heat under it, yes, the heat is turned off.
okay, great.
10
Okay.
minutes, no cover.
I love it. All right, now we're just,
Ben.
wow, look at that fridge.
Wow. That is a solid fridge right there.
I mean,
1 and 2 and 3. Look at that.
Oh.
Jesus.
So we bought this little sexy beast here, and it had a dent on it. And so we tried to return it, and they said, no, keep it. And they sent us this second one.
Wow.
okay,
Amazing.
let's back up for a second. So Sean and Ben, can you guys just tell us what your business is about?
Yeah.
What are we gonna send everyone to buy from you?
So we're the Epicurean Connection, and we have a cheese and takeout food company here in Sonoma. And we've pivoted beyond during these times. So we have takeout food. Ben will show you.
Yep. Lots of pestos right here.
Ooh, we lost Ben's camera for a second. Wi-Fi problemas.
Here we go.
I'm gonna ask you there we go. We gotcha. There you are, Ben. Gorgeous.
Lots of pestos right here. This is our butter bar up here, our vinaigrette bar up here. These 3 aren't labeled. They're all proprietal. Our orange marmalade, blackberry, pomegranate, and raspberry rose petal. And we do not share those recipes. We share almost everything else we do with everybody, but those do not get shown. And one more, we have mole here. That's Lulu's mole. Lulu is our sous chef, and she will not give us the ingredients.
So before the pandemic, you were doing like some classes and stuff like that. So
Cheese making and different cooking classes, which we're still doing a little bit of online. Averaging maybe one a week, but that bit part of our business has slowed down. In the warehouse side, we have a classroom set up, but we haven't used it since March.
Great.
So we partner now with the Thomas Keller Restaurant Properties. We're going to be doing classes with them. Sorry to say.
Cool.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing classes with the Renaissance Lodge hotels. And so we're super excited. We're teaching classes, but we do them, not only do we do them with groups, but we do them individually. We have them the second Saturday of every month. And I hope you all will join. If anybody on the call, if you say you're on this call, we'll give you a complimentary class participation. It would be wonderful to have you join us. And we make cheese, and we make chèvre, we make crème de fromage, we make all kinds of goodies.
We'd be so delighted. That's so fun. So you were doing the classes and stuff before the pandemic and doing some production, and then now it's tons of virtual, tons of pickup, tons of things.
So like last year, 2 years ago technically, I was in Beijing, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Dubai teaching classes.
Come on, that's amazing.
Wow.
It was amazing. And if that's how you're going to go out, like, let's go out on that note. Like, let's go out. I mean, Dubai was my favorite. And my kids, I stay in touch with them all, the chefs. These chefs run the hotels, like, amazing.
This is so cool. I mean, I applaud you so much. You know, Ben, I know you come from like a winemaking family and stuff. And, you know, Shauna, you come from this like cooking thing, but I love seeing all the innovation and people just figuring out what's needed out there and figuring out how they can continue to share their magic and still sort of stay alive. I mean, obviously for someone who was a restaurateur and was really just making food, selling it, and selling an experience, it's a lot harder. Maybe for people like us, where we're like, oh, we always lived kind of on a little periphery. We were always doing something slightly different, and we can figure out all of these new ways to connect and stay in business. It was, you know, a little different.
Let me show you our awesome piece of art we got for this. Makes sense for everything.
Stay calm. Wait, so tell us about that. What does it all mean?
It's Johnny Hirschmichael is an artist and a friend of ours, and he actually picked the color for the building here. He actually picked the colors for our house when we had it painted, but he's gone they started this year. Artists, him and his wife are both artists. They went full time.
Wow.
And they got a PPP for artists, which is really cool. And they're doing great. And that painting, the Stay Calm, is actually about 2 years old, but it's more, right now it's necessary.
It's more prevalent now, right?
And then you can see our pantry right behind here. So we have the olive oil here is 5 miles away. The blueberries are 7 miles
Show
away.
it sideways label.
Hand labeled clearly. This is Bob Hurley's company out of Napa. The vinegar is ours. It's from a mother vinegar from Sonoma that's 80 years old.
Wow.
The Rancho beans, he's a buddy of ours, so we have a whole bunch of that. And it's just filled with products that you can source within about 20 miles.
I love it.
We've really done and brought that niche, and people really they want to shop local, but they don't know how to shop for some of their pantry items locally. And this is really giving them that opportunity.
So Ben, can everyone hear? So here's the cool thing about Virtual Boozy Brunches. We have people from all over the world, and how do they get in touch with you? Can they buy those things from you? How does that all work?
Yes, we do mail order at epicureanconnection.com.
Great. We'll put that.
Anything we showed you just now in our mail order.
Awesome.
Which is new. We learned this only in September of the pandemic.
Right, because we all had to.
High learning curve, but we got it down now.
Nice. Because, you know, last week we had another great friend of Claire's who was on, and she's in the Finger Lakes, and she's sort of proselytizing for a lot of those incredible artisans in New York State. So it was fun to learn, like, oh, we can get those things too and still be supporting local in a way, you know? I mean, listen, I want Sonoma life. I need Sonoma life in my life.
Oh, did you hear that?
The timer went off? What happens next?
How's everybody's cheese? Everybody at 200 and you let it sit for 10 minutes?
Uh-huh.
I think
My
so.
delivery guy is 7 blocks away. It's coming good.
How long do we leave it sit?
It was
10 minutes.
Okay.
So, Shauna, is it time for this guy?
It is time for that guy.
All right, I'm ready. What do we do?
By this crazy hippie guy in Vermont.
Love it.
I wish I had one.
Oh my God,
Get you one.
you guys sent that to me? I got that in the mail and I was like, what is this? Wait, was that cheesecloth that came with it?
Yes!
Right here.
Oh my God, you guys, that's so funny. I had no idea. Hold on, I gotta show you this.
What did you do with it, Dan? Do we want to know?
Literally, hold on. You guys,
I don't know.
So
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like a dish rag. I put it on my oven.
Okay, so this cheesecloth, you can use as your dish rag if you choose.
That's what I was doing.
Wash it and reuse it many, many times. So but don't wash it in your laundry mat. Wash it in the sink with bleach and water.
Here, check this out. June,
Look at your
No.
kitchen.
this is
Nice.
the IKEA blacksmith right here. Made this.
Nice.
Ah,
Let me give you guys a tour of the kitchen. I have a little museum.
Let's
Nice.
see some of
I have a museum of Le Creuset over here.
The Le Creuset. Woo!
That's my Le
Oh,
Creuset
look at the
museum.
Le
how many
Creuset.
layers of cheesecloth, Shauna?
June, it's about me right now.
One layer.
Okay.
What?
Oh,
But you
It's
get a
just two
cheesecloth
layers,
or
two
if
layers.
not, just
I
you
have,
can order them on
how many
Amazon
layers?
or from us.
Just one?
Just one.
Okay,
What do you have? I can't, let me see.
that's double.
Oh, no, you want like 5.
Okay, that's why I wanted to know.
guys,
So
June and I
these
will be
clocks,
going on the
they're
road
called flower
soon. As
sacks.
soon as the restrictions are down, we're doing a 2-person show.
I love the Dan and June show. I'm buying all the tickets. I want box seats and in.
Okay. So the cheesecloth they sell you is bogus. It's not actually used by cheesemakers.
Really?
The flour sack that you got,
I thought,
Is what you
I
have
have
to use.
something else I think I can use that's better.
So wait, so Shauna, so this flour sack fabric, that's what I like to use for polishing fancy glasses as well, right?
yes.
It's lint
Did
free.
you know we have a whole side business selling them to wineries
Come
to
on.
polish their glasses because they're lintless.
Okay, you and I were like this because I am obsessed with this material because nobody ever has it for polishing the good glasses. It's the
Right.
lint-free glass. She's got it right there. You heard it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Maximilian Riedel, where are you? You need to find these from Sean and Ben. All right, so I've got my straight from Sonoma flour sack material laid out in my bowl. What happens next? Can I open? Can I open?
Are you ready? Has it been 10 minutes?
It's been 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Pull the lid off. Let's see. Give us the glam.
Can you see it?
Let's,
Someone needs to spotlight my, is that
oh,
it?
I see the lid. So,
Can you
okay,
see
put the lid on the sink.
All right, lid's going on the sink. And
Now
then
take your ladle.
someone needs to spotlight my, there it is. I'm taking a ladle. I'm taking my ladle.
And
Okay,
you're gonna gently, slowly scoop curds.
I'm scooping curd. I think there's curds.
Oh, there is, I can see.
I
Dan looks nervous.
You know, can I blow the lid on this whole thing right now? Is it?
Oh, come on.
I want to be a whistleblower right now. Last night I was talking to Claire and I said, "Oh my God, I've wanted ricotta for so long. I would love to be a part of this." She was like, "Oh, you should totally make it also." And she was like, "We'll send you the stuff. See how much it's going to cost." And Prime Now, for some reason, was very expensive in LA to send stuff. And I sent
Come
the receipt,
on.
and she was like, "You know what? Why don't you just watch us instead?"
I would have sent you cheese set. Come on.
Here I am alone with my block of non-ricotta cheese.
Just eat the cheese as long as you don't cut it.
Can I send you a ladle, please?
I have the ladle.
This needs the
You
milk.
have cheesecloth.
Wait, I have a question, Shauna. Is it any different have you ever made it out of raw milk, the ricotta?
Yes, but legally I cannot. Legally, as a cheesemaker, I cannot handle raw milk. It's a felony. I'd get arrested and put it in the local paper.
Dan, why would you even suggest that, Dan?
Look,
That's crazy.
it's the most boring episode of Breaking Bad. I understand.
That would be me. I would be in Breaking Bad. I would make cheese. I'd get arrested. It would be in the local paper, and Sari's husband would love it.
But
We have
hypothetically
best local
speaking,
milk here, and it's not raw.
hypothetically speaking, how does it taste? How does it taste differently? How does it taste different?
I think
So
it's like,
if you can get raw milk, then yes, you should use it, but I cannot legally.
But you
Yeah,
have you done it for
It's
yourself?
extra delicious.
It is, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you it's extra delicious.
extra delicious. Okay, Shauna, so for those who did the proper seal, used the good milk, and then took off the cover and started
Okay.
taking out the curds. Karen, I see you nodding at me. Karen, do you have some curds? Do you have some curds? Are you ready to start?
I'm ready. So Ben has it on.
Almost.
So I'm going to gently and slowly, as gentle and slow as you can, lift the curds.
Yeah, your curds are
And
bigger than
then
my curds. I'm gonna give mine a little more time.
Size doesn't matter with curds, guys.
and then lay in the cheesecloth. And I brought in some flavors. I brought Meyer lemon zest and black pepper.
Mine looks really good though. The curds that I did get, they're sexy. I have some curds.
Let's see. I want to see.
I'm gonna see there. I got some curds.
Oh, they do look sexy.
Yeah, that looks good.
I have curds, people. I have curds.
Bravo.
You got cheese. You made cheese.
I'm gonna go back to drinking. That's what
I
I'm
don't know. I'm stressed out, but ricotta cheese is, I was telling Belinda, is like dressing up any just like regular pasta dish. You add some ricotta and then it's like the sprinkle on top of a sundae. It's fabulous.
But
But this
Sean,
is creme de ricotta. This is just not ricotta. This is creme de ricotta.
yeah,
And so what I love about this
So good.
recipe is I teach this recipe to like Michelin star chefs, like at the French Laundry. And then I teach it to YWCA moms who are single moms, and they can make the same cheese. So I love telling the chefs and I love telling the moms.
But Shauna, it smells so good. I mean, it smells so like pure and milky. And I mean, to your point about getting like the good milk and the whole milk, I mean, I used a really good whole milk that's local here, and it smells so milky, delicious.
Well, I'm so excited. I used to live in the north end of Boston, and I could buy fresh ricotta at this little shop on Cross Street that they made it every morning, and it would still be warm.
Yeah.
And
I bet this was similar recipe.
this is smelling just like that shop used to smell when I walked in there.
That's a good sign.
Good. Okay, Shauna, take us to the finish line. So we
Ready? So the finish line, what do you have in your pantry? Who's the refrigerator person?
Dan.
Have
Oh, I
a
know.
jam, a jelly, some
you have a jam?
spices.
I have bean herb, and I can't wait to put it in with some lemon zest.
Yes, perfect.
That's what we just did.
Oh,
yes.
You go crazy, June. I'm going with June on this one.
Partners in crime. The whole milk kind.
She's my girl. Yeah.
I have nectarine jam from Mathison. So do I just dump it in there? What happens next?
Dollop it, gently dollop around like a teaspoon each dollop.
Yeah, we don't dump things in. We gently dollop on this show. Dump it in.
Thank you for the endorsements. Thank you.
Who do you think you're talking to? She teaches. Thomas Keller is her housekeeper. Okay.
Okay, so one time Thomas Keller came in to pick up his cheese order, and he was making espressos because at our old cafe we were slammed. We were so busy we couldn't keep up. So he made a latte, and the lady returned it. Remember that, Ben?
Yeah.
That's
That's
amazing.
hysterical. He probably burned the milk.
Nobody wanted that Michelin 3-star latte. They sent it back.
Right?
Well, the other one was Emerald. Emerald made a grilled cheese sandwich. We were in the weeds again.
Emerald Lagasse was it?
And the lady returned the grilled cheese sandwich.
I love that. That's
That makes me so
amazing.
happy.
That's amazing. What good stories. Shauna, I
We-
was going to ask you,
you know
do you add garlic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Granulated garlic, fresh garlic, your choice.
So we add the whatever is the flavoring direct into this cheesecloth situation.
Right, so you can see my cheese now. So I've added lemon zest and black pepper, and I'm gonna fold it by rolling it. And that way it's gonna have the flavor of the black pepper and the lemon zest.
Should I ask how you fold the cheese?
So take your cheesecloth, and if you don't have a cheesecloth, just take a spatula and fold it.
Christina, nobody knows how to fold it in. What do you mean by fold it in?
You fold the cloth.
Schitt's Creek, Schitt's Creek.
You got to teach me everything.
So your choice. So if you don't have a cheesecloth, just take your spatula and fold it. Just gently roll it over together. And you'll have
Very
the lemon.
reminiscent of a diaper, like a.
We've got a very diaper situation.
Way to ruin the
Look
game.
at how much cheese you got.
Go Claire! Yes!
I am
That's
Auntie
you
Claire
got a lot
after
of
all.
cheese.
I make
That's
cheese.
like
I do
2.5
diapers.
pounds. Ben, look.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well
Shauna,
done.
Shauna, I have a very Persian question to ask you. What if I wanted to put saffron in this recursion?
Oh,
Ooh.
yes.
You mean like this?
Saffron, like right here.
Oh, there we go. Now you're speaking my
Yeah,
language.
So bougie
Yeah.
of you, Dan.
Expensive.
Saffron and honey.
Boil that with the milk?
And a little bit of vanilla. I know it sounds crazy. Saffron, honey, and a little bit of vanilla. Oh, baby.
Yum.
Well,
This box right here is like $250 worth of saffron.
Oh, that box was like the dowry for my mom to get married to my dad.
Right? This is it right here.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you want to know how I bought it?
You
Yes.
sold 3 Persian brides for it?
So we go to this dairy supply store and the ladies reveal nothing. Like they're like blank slate, right? Every time. And so it's become our game. Like, what do you sell? And I'm like, hey, ladies, do you have any saffron? They're like, we have saffron. Who knew? So we got this saffron for less than what we were paying, 2/3 less than what we were paying for a distributor.
Wait, but Shauna, when would you add the saffron? While you're boiling the milk or after?
Right now. No,
Oh, right
after you drain it.
In the folding moment. In the folding moment.
Right?
Right.
You got the folding.
Cool.
Okay,
And,
so we've got like
Hold this in the towel?
it's all in the towel.
Yes.
So Shona, we've got like a minute or so, and then so what do we do? So it's all in the towel. There is
It's all in the
the
towel. You're gonna add your flavor of your choice.
flavor of your choice. We're folding. We're folding.
Show.
So we're gonna take the cloth by the corners and gently
Not push.
give it a nice little turn like this.
A gentle turn.
A gentle turn.
No pushing.
No pushing.
And then you're gonna put it in your refrigerator, and in an hour, you're gonna have a wheel of cheese.
So in the cloth. So you
Yes,
take
in the cloth.
this whole cloth of goodness
Yes.
in a bowl in the fridge.
in a bowl
Yes.
in my fridge.
You like tie it up, you tie the
And
I
top.
one
love
other-
way.
One other thing, if you look under your colander, you'll see some of the whey.
Yeah.
And that whey you can use. You can cook with it. You can add potatoes,
Oh
corn,
no, I
make a
threw it
potato
out.
whey chowder. It's useful in all kinds of things. So it's a zero waste recipe.
Ben,
And everything that results from it can go back into your kitchen.
Ben,
Oh, man.
Ben, you hear me? Claire threw out the way.
I threw it away.
Ah.
Oh.
Wait,
And I did nothing
Use your
gently.
whey, and you can
That's
make
the other
potato
thing.
whey soup.
Everything was
I'm
rough.
allergic to the whey. It gives me diarrhea. It's,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
it's a part of
Dude.
being lactose intolerant.
June,
Throw out the way.
Oh,
something
that's fair.
inside voice, June.
June, let the way go.
Oh, look at your wheel of cheese.
But I appreciate you sharing, June, because we're getting closer. We're understanding each other. We're getting our likes, our dislikes.
I'm crying. I'm literally crying, which is a perfect time
For
to
more
introduce
wine.
a man who needs no introduction. Dan Adu.
Wait,
It's my pleasure to introduce you. He is not only hysterical, But he also has this amazing podcast called Green Eggs and Dan, and I encourage everyone to listen to it. You will become addicted like I was, and like I soon will be to this ricotta cheese. Again, Dan, there's no rules here, so you've just made this such a fun experience. I want to know, how's it being on Cobra Kai now that you're acting and doing all these things? I want to know, how has the industry shifted during coronavirus?
Yeah. It's been really interesting, actually. Cobra Kai we finished production on Cobra Kai before the pandemic started, but I'm on another show called The Crew on Netflix, which we shot 7 episodes. That comes out February 15th. It's with Kevin James. And we shot 7 episodes, and then COVID hit, and we all went into quarantine, and then we had to do 3 more episodes after that. So we were actually the first production back at work in the US during COVID, which was insane. We were getting COVID tested 5 times a week, basically.
Oh my God. So wait, so you did normal.
My nose didn't look like, I didn't look this Jewish before the production. They were just like putting all these things just every day. And I went, I used to be blonde with frosted tips and a cute button nose. And now I look like a super Jew from all of the, too far, too soon? June?
No, it's all good. No, it's great.
I love June. June's in her fridge. She doesn't care.
So you were the first people back filming, and have you been doing your podcast from the safe place in your home? Is that it?
Yeah, this was the first season that we did the whole podcast from remotely, which was awesome. We got some amazing guests this season. Actually, Ruth Reichel is going to be next week.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Wow. So you had Ruth on instead of me? Is that what it is? Something like that?
Claire, if you could have.
No. I mean, I wouldn't know that you shot it remotely because I wasn't invited, but I was last year.
If you can get me the $8 milk that you wouldn't splurge for, so I can make my own ricotta with June at the same time, and we could both share our dietary restrictions. Well,
we can do it again. We can do it again.
Yeah,
let's do it again, Dan.
Yeah. So Ruth, but we also, because of the pandemic, it kind of made us think outside the box. And after Ruth, we have a guest who is basically he's like the Anthony Bourdain of Iran. His name is Mr. Taster. He's got 1.4 million followers on Instagram. And I interviewed him, from Tehran.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
Each episode.
Last year I was in Dubai working and I met him.
What?
You met Mr. Taster?
Yes.
No way, Shauna.
Totally
crazy.
Totally crazy. Like, how can I even put that into a regular conversation? Amazing. I met him in Dubai at a food show.
He's the coolest. He's the best.
He was so nice.
Yeah. Shauna, and you can
Remember Ben?
You can hear him in 2 weeks on Green Eggs. But each episode basically starts with an actual picture of the inside of the fridge of my guest. And it's amazing. You get to see how, first of all, the better the chefs are, the worse their fridges are, is what I've realized. Like I interviewed Ignacio Matos of Estella, and
Ignacio.
Yeah, it looked like he was like a hostage somewhere, and they gave him.
Right, he had bananas. I remember that. He's like, yeah, I eat a banana. Right?
Yeah, that was
right.
At the end of the episode, I asked like 10 questions. And I asked everyone, like, what's your favorite hangover food? And everyone's like, I like fried eggs, or I like this and that. Right. And Ignacio was like, I like to have a banana. Like, what are you talking about?
So we stayed in the same hotel. Remember, Ben?
Yeah.
And so we have security, obviously, in Dubai. And every morning they will bring us a banana.
You had 20 minutes to make their fucking ricotta cheese. Let me share my podcast for a second. And then we can get back to Dubai.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding, Shauna. It's all good.
Oh, it's all brilliant. No, Dan, the podcast is so good. Can I share my podcast moment and third-party endorsement?
Do it.
So I've been listening to it since I knew that you were going to come on, and it's now my like Peloton thing, and it's so good. And Dan knows a crap load about food, which I'm curious about. Like, why do you know so much about food? Although Claire told me that, and I thought it was really amazing. And he obviously also knows a crap load about wine, which is really super fun because we always think that, you know, I did a little Zoom thing with Cameron Diaz, I mean, kicking and screaming to talk about her wine. And I'm like, you know, it's someone from Hollywood, someone who's an actress, and she's going to tell us what she thinks she knows about wine. And it was exactly the sort of disaster I thought it would be. So it's really fun to be with someone who's like on camera, does lots of cool stuff, and is an actor, and also knows a shit ton about
Legit, Dan.
Oh, guys, that's so sweet. To get a stamp of approval from you, Belinda, I appreciate that. I do love wine, and I'm not very snobby about it because I think it's so annoying when people are like, we're getting drunk. Like at the end of the day, that's what we're doing, right? Henry Chow and your wife, you guys are just getting hammered. I see you.
We are learning. We are learning, Dan.
We are learning, but that's the best part.
How's that hunk of cheese with the wine?
Oh.
What are you learning?
Oh my God, it's pairing so well with the smell of French lentils. Who gives a fuck about French lentils? I just want to get drunk with cheese and wine, and I'm having such a good time. But wait, can I tell you guys about a wine that I discovered during quarantine that I can't get enough of?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I like a lighter white wine, and I discovered something from Greece called a Sertico.
Yeah.
And it is so amazing because it's salty, because it's got that. I think it's on Santorini, the island of Santorini, and you've got the Mediterranean wafting onto the grapes. And it's very salty and delicious, and I love it so much. I've tried Cigales is my favorite one that I've had thus far.
Yeah, so good.
You know what I'm talking about at all?
Yes, we do. And I agree, Dan. Greek wine is so underrated. I recently did an article about it last year when I was writing. And I will say there's so much history, but the price point is so reasonable that it's just shocking people are not drinking more. And the quality keeps getting better and better. This is one of the birthplaces of wine, right? Of viticulture. So the fact that you're getting the saltiness coming from the water, you're on an island, like it all makes sense. And also the Mediterranean diet, just think of what people are eating. It's all just like, it all goes hand in hand, even if you didn't want it to. It's like just how the life is set up. So it's fabulous.
The Wines of Greece is an excellent sponsor for a podcast / a virtual experience vertical.
Love it. Wines of Greece.
Love Wines of Greece. Shout out.
Greek wines, the Greek whites. Dan, if you like a Sertico, you should.
Dude,
also
if you're gonna tell me that they give you diarrhea, I don't need that right now.
No. You should also try Moscofilero.
Oh,
yeah, girl.
The best, for me, my favorite value wines right now are Portuguese red and Greek white.
Yes, girl. Yes, June.
Yes.
June. Actually, another fun fact about the Greek wines is that since they're on an island, they never got that weird fungus that everything else in Europe got.
Phylloxera. Yeah, never reached them.
So they're not like grafted. It's like OG vines.
OG to the core. Dan, I do have a question I've been dying to ask you.
I am single.
What? Well, I have so many questions, but
sorry. Yeah.
So what is your die-hard squeezable condiment that you can't live without?
Die-hard squeezable condiment.
Yeah.
Right? Leading people to QP or Sriracha, right? Those would like to be the obvious ones, right?
It could be that.
I heard squeezable.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna get two. Bring me the frat. My brother's here.
Hi.
Okay. So there's two things that I'm obsessed with. One of them is amba, which is basically a fermented mango sauce that you see a lot in Middle Eastern cuisine. That is so addictive. You're gonna put it on everything. It's awesome. It's tart. It's fermented. Yeah. And
this is what I wanted to know.
Here it is. Actually, Trader Joe's makes an awesome one.
What?
It's a mango sauce and it's delicious. You can use it as a salad dressing. You can use it on fish, on meat. Like literally, this is in the Middle East. Like this is it's like a one-stop shop. It's great, but it's also like funky and fermented. And also, okay, this thing has been killing me lately. This is another Trader Joe's creation.
Wow.
Affiliate?
Trader Joe's sponsorship? or
Telling
what?
Crunch, it's all about crunchy.
That's
Crunchy.
the best.
Addictive. This is so addictive. I put this on my fucking coffee, in my cereal, anything.
Yes.
Love it.
Chili.
So good. It's really, really great. Those are my go-tos. Yeah, a little amba and a little bit of this crunch. I mean, it'll elevate any meal.
Dan, I wanted to say thank you for being here. And it must feel so amazing that you're the #1 food podcast.
It is insane.
On Earth, right? On Earth.
On all of Earth. I mean, it's insane because when I wanted to do this food podcast, I said I wanted to do a funny food podcast where I interview not necessarily just food people. And every podcast network said, no, there's no market for funny and food. And so it's just very nice to be able to prove them all wrong.
For goddamn funny and food is wrong. Everybody needs to listen to it. Everybody needs to listen to an episode and then rate it because that's important.
Yes, please. Thank you. June, do you know how to rate the podcast, June?
We'll teach her. So you guys, we're a little over time, which is not a big deal because, we do whatever we want to here. We have this fun thing that we've added into our virtual Boozy Brunch. So we hope that Dan and Shauna and Ben will hang out for a second. We're going to send everyone into a private salon with our talent today. I hope that everybody had a really great time today as everybody comes and rejoins us. Listen, we do this every Sunday and we do it for no reason other than to, as Dan said, get drunk, to not drink alone, to drink with friends. And we've done it for 40 weeks plus, and we're gonna keep doing it because I think it's a fun way to spend.
I think Henry has something to say.
Yeah, actually, that's very excellent. There's a recent article coming out. There's a recent article talking about the sense of loneliness during the pandemic. The loneliness equates to 15 cigarettes a day.
In like health detriment, not benefit.
That's right, 15 cigarettes a day. So just to join you this every Sunday is amazing. Therapeutic, I would say that.
Oh, Henry.
Wait, I think what Henry's trying to say is that now to cancel this out, we can all smoke 15 cigarettes.
That's the gist of it.
Good question. So fun. Well, everyone who still remains with us, I know people had to jump out for church and all kinds of things. I just wanted to thank Dan. You are so freaking fabulous and amazing, and I want to be best friends, and I'm sending the private jet for you when this is all over. And then also Shauna and Ben, I love you guys. Ben, I already loved you. Shauna, now we know each other, and I want to be best friends too. You guys are so awesome for sharing your magic for a little bit of time today, and we're gonna get you to continue to do that. You guys are so cute. And next week we have Anne Trimbach from, I don't know, the 4th century or 6th, they're either 4th or 6th century old winery. We have Luca Corrado from Vietti after that. So listen, we've got some badass, bomb-ass people coming to hang out with us, with me and Claire for the next couple weeks.
Come back and join us, everyone. I mean, it'll be so much fun. Dan?
Thank you so much.
So down.
Dan, I want to meet you in person.
June, I didn't come here for a love connection, but I'm leaving with one.
Sweetheart, I'm probably old enough to be your granny.
You guys
got a girl for you.
Love this.
You're still recording now, so you can now take off your shirts and whatever you want to do. And
Dan, don't take anything off, Dan.
Don't worry, I won't. Wait, do you guys mind if I plug my social?
Please.
Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's @StandUpDan.
I've got it. I wrote it down. I'm checking it out.
Thank you, June.
It's in the chats.
Lots of fun news coming your way, Dan.
Oh my gosh, I have to run. I have to go see Sky and Ben, my niece and soon-to-be nephew-in-law. So whatever it is. Anyway, I love you guys. Gotta go to Jersey.
Travel safe. Bye, Claire.
Happy Chilling. Until next time.
Here's music to
having
play
us.
you out.
I mean, thank you.
Thank you. This was so much fun. This was awesome. Thank you very much. You guys are my people.
Listen, you're always welcome. We will all listen to the entire library and like it 10,000 times.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Yay! Listen, Karen Bloom, how's your ricotta looking? You're muted, girl.
Yeah, I'm on mute. Okay. You know, I don't know. I'm nervous,
Okay.
but it's my first time.